I have always been a Star Wars fan. The original trilogy means so much to me, and while I'm not a fan of the prequels or the sequels overall, I still love individual films from these trilogies. The Rise of Skywalker has for me been my least favourite Star Wars film for a while. It's a studio desperate to win back fans, and it ended up pleasing no one. And it even ruins the whole trilogy because no matter if you're a fan of The Last Jedi or not, it's a bad follow-up. It's to me the cinematic equivalent of a mannequin, a hollow body that Disney wanted people to like very badly, and even then I still enjoy parts of the film. The fight scene with the dyad, some of the humour, and visually it's still a competent looking blockbuster, which is more than Marvel could do at this point. Following on from this, Star Wars has entered a never-ending cycle of Disney Plus content, with most of it being bad in my opinion, and even The Mandalorian itself starting strong, but getting gradually worse as each year passed. The only show I have fully liked is Andor, and luckily for Andor, it is my favourite Star Wars thing ever. So to me, I was hoping Star Wars returning to the big screen would be a positive, especially in the visual side when most of the Mandoverse has looked rubbish. After 7 years, Star Wars has a new film out in an actual cinema, not some stretched out film into a Disney Plus show for TV, but an actual film. Or is it? I'm going to get the visuals out of the way because it might be the most egregious part of all of this. No matter what planet these two visit, it is severely underlit or backlit, and sometimes both. This just all looks ugly. I couldn't believe what I was looking at, and the trailers honestly underplayed just how bad this looks. When people who defend this film constantly say turn your brain off or just have fun, it doesn't surprise me that the filmmakers think this too. Because why would you want your audience to pay attention to some of the things here? Once in a while a fine shot will show up, or the camera work is passable, but other than that, it's offensive. This is what Disney and Lucasfilm are releasing because it looks worse than the TV show. Whenever I say this, people go, well, who could compete with Greg Fraser? But he was the DOP for 3 episodes out of 24. And the film honestly looks worse than 99% of these. The CGI creatures are fine individually, but when you have scenes with multiple of them, it just all looks like sludge. I respect ILM immensely. This franchise has always looked consistently good, but I guess there's a time where things have to end, and here it is. The only positive I have for the craft here is the puppet work. Grogu continues to be the only interesting thing behind the scenes because everything else is lacking. There's an actual craft to his movements. There's passion. It's not a CGI creature that's done in post. You can tell he's actually there. And you have this with the Babu Frick things also with him. It's a shame that this is paired with a film that seemingly has done most of the stuff in post anyway. I can't tell if some of this is the volume or green screen, but overall, it looks like most of these people aren't actually in a place. Star Wars used to film in different countries around the world to get these environments, and now it's all done in California, and you can tell. Performance-wise, I might as well call this the phoning it in section, because Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver both sound like they don't want to be here. Martin Scorsese and Stephen McKinley Henderson at least bring some energy, but they're barely in this, so the phoning it in from everyone else adds to this soulless feeling. It's impossible for me to call this a competent film when it does just feel like the director and the cast are phoning it in. Action-wise, it's fine. I don't think the film is shot well, especially with the blocking, but it's genuinely harmless here. The shootout sequence looks really bad. Awful even, but the hand-to-hand stuff is passable. This review feels hard to keep going as the film doesn't have much going on, which leads me to the final critique, which is the fact this film basically ends halfway through, and the second half feels like it's trying to justify a film runtime. The music swells epically as a ship flies off just for there to be a cut to black, and slight spoilers ahead, a new villain shows up. This film has too many villains and makes it feel like you've taken 3 Monster of the Week episodes and put them together hoping for the best, so it does not feel like a film. Everything is made worse when you remember the first 3 episodes of Mandalorian is like a mini film. It comes into 89 minutes without credits or opening titles, and there's a clear arc here. A bounty hunter accepting a commission from a client, finding out the target is a child and deciding to save him. There's a very big through line thematically. The action builds up to this massive town trying to get Mando, and it's genuinely good TV, and it would be a good film. Here there's no character arc. It feels like a team creating a film for the sake of it, like they're trying to prove they can actually make one after multiple failed projects. Here's hoping Sean Levy somehow pulls out a good film after multiple bad ones, because if this franchise is going to be sold forever, just let it die. I hated the Minecraft movie, but man, at least it was self-aware in its humour. This is such a slog in its humour that it just feels soulless. I'm so tired of Disney dragging a dead horse in its multiple franchises, and audiences will keep eating it up. We deserve better films and maybe, just maybe, a step into the future. Star Wars won't leave the Empire or New Republic era, and it might be stuck here forever. Starfighter releases next year, and if it fails, that might be the end, because apart from that, coming up we have Ahsoka Season 2 and more Shadow Lord Season 2. I couldn't be more hopeless about Star Wars right now. I wish I liked this. Hell, even during the opening scene I thought it was fine, and it gave me some hope I wouldn't hate it somehow. But it keeps going on and on and on, eventually leading to this. If you've seen The Mandalorian and Grogu, let me know if you enjoyed it. I hope you did more than me, and thank you for watching.